Hey everyone, welcome to another Grim Dawn skill video. In this video, we are looking at Warcry. Warcry is a kind of middle tier skill in the soldier tree, and it's awesome. It is possibly my favorite soldier skill, and I think every character I take that goes in the soldier picks up Warcry. So let's jump right into its text. Warcry. A blood-chilling Warcry weakens the resolve of your foes and disrupts their focus. Costs energy, has a cooldown, it hits a radius based on its level, and what it does, the main thing it does, is it reduces the enemy's health by 1%. At 12 out of 12, that's 33% reduction to the enemy's health. That's a huge reduction in the enemy's health. 33 reduction, that's a third of their health is just gone. Now this part doesn't actually work against bosses, obviously. But against trash mobs, you can Warcry. It hits a huge radius at 12 out of 12, practically the whole screen, and reduces all of the enemy's health by a third. It's great for just weakening everything, and then you can just destroy it with your main abilities. The second thing the ability does is taunt the targets it hits. This isn't as relevant in single player, it's more of a multiplayer thing. But if you are playing like a very, very tanky soldier-related class, soldier-related character, you pop your Warcry, you do reduce the health of everything on the screen, and then it will generally lean towards attacking you. Taunting in this game can be a little weird because there's like the taunt and then sometimes it doesn't stick. Like you see this a lot on pets when they use their taunting abilities. Sometimes it will work flawlessly and exactly the way you expect. Sometimes it's, you know, hit or miss. And I would assume the same is true for Warcry. I've never actually used it in a multiplayer game or on a character that has pets. So I don't know how it actually looks like or how consistently it can draw enemies in, but I would assume the higher level it has, the more likely it is to get the taunt effect off. And finally, the last thing it does is a 25% reduction to the target's damage for 5 seconds. This is 25% at 12 out of 12. It's awesome. This is a great effect. Coupled with reducing the enemy's health and taunting them, they'll actually be dealing less damage to you. So reducing their damage output increases your tankiness. And this part, as far as I know, this part does affect bosses. So if you're fighting a boss and you pop your Warcry, you'll get more survivability because the Warcry will still hit the boss. This also makes Warcry, as its entire package, sort of your I'm the tank, come after me ability, because you'll be taunting everything will come for you, everyone else will be more or less protected, and then you'll also be reducing, regardless of if the taunt hits, if the taunt effect hits, you'll be reducing the damage output of all of the monsters pretty much on screen. All in all, Warcry is an amazing ability. I highly recommend anyone jumping to the soldier to pick it up. And when we get into skill synergies, I'll show why it's awesome on, say, a battle mage. But we have two other things to look at with this skill. So this ability has one modifier and a transmuter. The modifier, Warcry shatters enemy morale, rendering them powerless against you. Break morale will disrupt the target's skills for 3 seconds, and it will reduce the target's physical resistance for 5 seconds. Obviously, on my battle mage here, I didn't put points in to the class to go all the way to pick it up, and I don't actually think I have a character that has points that deep into soldier to actually pick up break morale and show it off. But break morale, if you see an enemy, if you're fighting an enemy that has special abilities, using this will cause them to not use their special abilities as much. I'm sure everyone who's played this game has been on the receiving end of a skill disruption hero, so you know how powerful it can potentially be, because you're essentially putting all of the enemy's skills on a cooldown. And that can be really powerful if you're up against someone that uses a lot of skills. I think of Cronley's heroes in this case, like Moneybags Martin and his grenades, or one of the Cronley heroes that uses a lot of Nightblade abilities. You can fire this off, your Warcry off, with Break Morale on, and they won't be able to use those abilities. Now, the reduction to physical resistance is kind of interesting, in that it's mostly going to be something to do with the Blade Master combo, just with a physical damage build combo. Maybe with the Commando as well, you can reduce the target's physical resistances. It's a more limited resistance reduction, because physical damage is not... I mean, it is common in this game. Obviously, all weapon swings do it, unless you're using a caster weapon. All bullet shots will do it, so it's not like it's a wasted resistance reduction. It's just a little... For character builds, it's a little on the rarer side, actually. And the combos that do it are like I said, rarer. They're more specific, and I'll point them out when we get into the class synergies. Still, if you're doing like a cadence build or just a standard force wave build or just a basic attack build, you can get a lot of value out of that physical resistance reduction. And finally, for the modifier, it's Terrify. Less resolute foes will flee at the sound of your fearsome challenge. And this adds a Terrify effect on. And Terrify just basically means the enemy will run away. It's fairly simple. You can use Warcry as a scare them away ability. I'd use this if I were playing like maybe a Panetti's Battle Mage, a Commando that's based around, you know, shots or explosives. I could see using it with a Witchblade to get things off of you, and then maybe have your pets kill them. A variety of things I could see using Terrify for. But again, it's being a transmuter, it is made to more be like, it's for these specific builds, not for every build. It's just a variation on your Warcry theme. So in class synergies, of course, if you go all the way to Break Morale, I mentioned before that Force Wave, Cadence, and Blitz, and is it Markovian's Advantage, will all enjoy that physical resistance reduction. But the thing about Warcry is it synergizes with everything. This isn't one of those abilities where it's like, oh, it deals cold damage, so I'm going to point out all the cold damage things. No, Warcry works with any build. So I'm not really going to go in build by build by build specifically. But I am going to say, you know, it works with everything. So just as an example, I've shown my Battle Mage before. And my Battle Mage, you know, he has Warcry. So when whoops. When he Warcries, it hits, you know, this giant area. But also, similarly, you have Electra's Flash Freeze hitting that area. And then you have Kalidor's Tempest hitting a small area. You have that Kalidor's Blast Wave hitting that area as well. So this character has a lot of things that are basically Novas, and Warcry meshes well with the Battle Mage when they're doing Kalidor's Tempest and Electra's Flash Freeze. And basically the same will hold true beyond Novas, just because Warcry is that good. It just hits everything on the screen and reduces their health. I mean, it's almost elegantly simple. And like I mentioned before, anything I do that goes to Soldier will pick up Warcry and get it to 12 out of 12. Because it helps every build. It synergizes with every build. And I mentioned, you know, you can go into Commando, and if you're playing with the Granado, or if you're doing a gun build, and you're going way deep on Soldier, it'd be worth it to pick up Break Morale. And likewise, the Blade Master just swinging weapons around, even if you're doing a Pierce or Cold-based one, you're still going to have a lot of physical in there. So having Break Morale can be helpful for disabling enemy skills and for reducing their resistances to your main attacks. Now for Devotion, I have Dryad's Blessing set on it. So not only does my Warcry act as a debuff and, you know, take a third of the enemy's health away from them on the entire screen, it will heal me too. So you can actually put this on, you can put Warcry, like a lot of Devotion things can go on it. So Dryad's Blessing, that's just one of the little tricks you can do with it. If you do pick up Time Dilation, you can put Warcry on it. You can put Warcry on, or I should say, you can put Arcane Minds on Warcry, and Arcane Minds will work. You can put your, you can't put the Seekers on it. Whoops. So yeah, the Elemental Storms can be put on it. The whirlpools can be put on it. You can put a lot of things on it. Pretty much almost any activated ability can be put onto Warcry. And I mean, I'm just going around and just picking up random things and just pointing out, oh, you can put Warcry on that. You can put Warcry on that. Put Warcry. Warcry. No, you can't put Warcry with that. That's kind of funny. You can, however, get the Poison Nova on Warcry if you go down to the Tainted Eruption thing. Yeah, I know you can't do it for the skeletons because skeletons require enemy kills. You can't. Oh, that's weird. Can't do it with Blizzard. That's just awkward. You can use Yulo's ability with it. That's a passive. So yeah, there are a lot of devotion options for Warcry. I like Dryad's Blessing because it makes it a heal. Generally speaking, you're gonna Warcry multiple times in combat because you just rotate into it. So with my Battle Mage here, I'm usually just rotating cooldowns, and on that rotation is gonna be Warcry. So I also try to time it because I have this heal on it to when I take a bit of damage. So, and usually that's just keeping it in the rotation as well. So I lead with Warcry. That'll give me that health regen. Well, the poison, I should say, it's not health regen on this ability, but that'll give me the reduction in poison bleed damage. But also, Warcry will pop up in the middle fight and give me that heal. So yeah, very, very solid ability. Very awesome ability. And I don't really think there's much more I can say about it. There isn't really any gear to synergize with it. I mean, the Maw of Despair does have +3 to it, but that's a very battle magey piece of gear. There isn't like the Warcry set. So yeah, it's pretty much a standard for me in the soldier tree, and it's more or less like a really solid support ability that you cast. And I think that's going to cover Warcry. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out my Patreon. Find a link in the description below and a URL on the screen. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time for another Grim Dawn skill video.